So in the second video of our ECG series, we're going to be looking at rate calculation as well as, just understanding the ECG graph paper as well as a whole. So now we have two methods of calculating the rate given an ECG strip like this one. So firstly, we have the 300 method. Let's understand how this one works. So for this one, we have to find two consecutive R waves. That is waves that follow each other. So now if you look clearly at this ECG, this is going to be our R wave. Yeah. So now the issue is that we're supposed to, upon identifying the two R waves, the second thing is to count the number of large squares between these R waves. That is, from here till here, we have to count the number of big squares in between. After finding the number of big squares, let me write it here, number of big squares between, then thereafter we are supposed to divide 300 by the number of large squares. Before we calculate the heart rate in this ECG strip, first let's understand why do we have to divide by 300. So the ECG paper moves at a standard speed of 25 millimeters per second. So you will find in any ECG strip towards the corners, you'll find this writing, that's the scaling. So each large square, as we had said in the previous video, each large square, it measures 0.2 seconds. Yeah. So which means that in 1 minute, that is 60 seconds, there are how many large squares? 300 large squares. So let's go over this again. So we had said initially in our previous video that a large square represents 0.2 seconds. If you have not watched it, please go back and try to understand how we got here. And now that means that in 1 minute, we are trying to find, because the heart rate, it's like beats per minute, right? So we have to find the number of beats in 60 seconds. So we're trying to find what is the standard? How many large boxes are there in 1 minute? So then we're going to divide the 60 seconds, because it's per second, we're going to divide the 60 seconds by 0.2. So dividing the 60 seconds by 0.2 gives us 300 large squares. So there are 300 large squares in 1 minute, which is why we divide 300 by the number of the large squares between the R waves. Remember that this is one contraction, this is another contraction. This is one bit, then this is another bit. Yeah. So now let's go ahead and look at the second method, which is the 1500 method. So this method is more accurate and is also used, for regular rhythms. So what we're supposed to do now here is to firstly count the small squares. So here we are using the small squares between two consecutive R waves. And then we are going to go on to divide 1500 by that number. So now here, the heart rate would be equal to 1500 over number of small squares. Yeah, so for example, if there are 20 small squares between R waves, we're going to say 1500 divided by 20, giving us 75. So now, why do we divide by 1500 again? So each small square right here, it represents, remember we said in the previous video that each small square represents 0.04 seconds. So in 1 minute, Remember, beats per minute in 1 minute, which is like 60 seconds, yeah? We have how many small squares? 1,500 small squares. Yeah? So in simple terms, this is to say that if an ECG paper moves at a speed of 25 millimeters per second, so one small square is equals to 0.04 second. So now calculate how many small squares pass in 1 minute. Remember, to find the heart rate, beats per minute. So 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So now 60 divided by 0.04, it means how many? 1,500 small squares in 1 minute. So now when you count the small squares between the two R waves, you are measuring the duration of just one heartbeat, right? Just one heartbeat. But remember, we're trying to find the number of beats in how many? In 1 minute, which is why we're using 1.5. So to find that number of heartbeats in 1 minute, you divide the 1,500 small squares per minute by the number of small squares per one heartbeat, which is why we're saying 1,500 divided by the number of small squares between the two R waves. So that's basically it. Firstly, identify your R waves. And then if you're going to be using the 300 method, you count the large squares in between the R waves and then divide 300 by that number. But if you're using the small squares, you're going to bring 1,500 and then find the number of small squares after identifying the two consecutive R waves and then divide 1,500 with that number. So both methods are only accurate for regular rhythms. So for irregular rhythms, you count the QR complex in a 6-second strip and multiply it by 10, which we will then do on our next video. Now let's go ahead and look at the ECG paper. Yeah, and understand what it is about. So firstly, you can see that this is just a long continuous roll of graph paper. Yeah, it has got lines that are light, as you can see inside of this big square, these small squares made up of light lines, and these big square right here that is made up of the dark lines. So these lines run both vertically and horizontally, creating the small squares that we have and the big squares. Now we will discuss on that. But before we go into that, we need to understand that the horizontal axis, it helps us to measure time. Whereas the vertical axis, we measure voltage. So now we need to understand, back to the squares, that each small square here. Now, in order to obtain the readings from an ECG, we use these small and the large squares in order to be able to get our values, that is time and voltage. Now, each of these small squares inside here, it represents, I'll write it right here, the small square, it represents just a 1 by 1 millimeter. Yeah, and then the dark lines that you see, they delineate large squares of 5 by 5 millimeters. So now the distance across one small square, the distance in just one tiny small square right here, we just said is 1 by 1. Yeah, so this distance, it represents, remember we're obtaining time in the horizontal axis. Now this distance represents what? 0.04 seconds, just one tiny square. So if we're analyzing from here to here, so because in this box from here to here, we've got 5 tiny small squares. So if just one square is 0.04 seconds, now from here to here, that means it's those small squares times 5, because there are 5 of them. Yeah? Yes. Now that will give us 0.2 seconds from here to here. Now let us look at the vertical axis. So the distance along one small square on the vertical, this we just did on the horizontal axis. Horizontally, for one big square represents 0.2 seconds. Yeah. Whereas vertically, one big square, which has got 5 small squares, represents 0.5 millivolts. Now, I want us to look at this wave right here, where we would determine both the time and voltage. So, you can see that this wave runs from here till here. Now, determining the time, let's count the number of small squares. Remember, the horizontal axis give us the time. The number of small squares, how many? We're going to realize that we have what? We have 10 small squares. Now, each small square represents how much? 0.04. So we're going to multiply 10 by 0.04. Now, let's determine the voltage. As we can see, the wave just occupies from here till here vertically. So now let us count how many small squares do we have from here to here. We just have 5 small squares. And then for each square vertically, we have each square representing how much? 0.1 millivolts. So this is how we're going to get our time and our voltage. I hope that was clear enough and you're able to now make the readings from an ECG independently.